Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, we have some more drama with the Jeffrey Epstein situation here. Donald Trump was at a press conference and actually comments on it here. And you can tell he is upset. He's pissed off that people are even asking him about this, right? Despite it being the biggest story in the news for really the past week here outside of the Texas floods. And so we're going to take a look at the clip. And then we're also going to look at a former Fox host who said that they had a conversation, Bill O'Reilly, with President Donald Trump earlier in the year. And apparently Trump said that it could destroy innocent people if these Epstein files got released. At least that is what Bill O'Reilly is saying. So with that said here, I'm going to quickly watch this video and we'll talk a little about the Bill O'Reilly case here. So let's play it for you guys. Yeah.
Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of his death?
Yeah, sure.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
So he's diverting the problem. You know, he is diverting the problem, right? He doesn't want to talk about it here, right? He's going to leave it up to people to keep speculating, right? Leave it for the mass and try to stay away from it, right? He's going to start talking about other problems. You're trying to blame it back on the people. Well, if the people are asking you about this question, well, then it's obviously clearly relevant to them. Now, I'm not saying, right, that, you know, concerns always necessarily have to be addressed right away. But certainly with this concern, like, yeah, this is a pressing priority here, right? People feel as if the government has a conspiracy. And I think they have very valid reasons for thinking that way. And then you're just gonna shut it off here, right? Just be disgusted with the media over this. I don't know. It doesn't seem fair to me. Especially when you literally had Pam Bondi say that the list was on her desk. They forged reports. Security guards forged reports. Cameras malfunctioned. A missing minute in the footage. I mean, Jesus Christ, guys. This is like, you know, I mean, if you had to place your bets on whether or not this is a conspiracy, I think you go ahead and you place your bet on the conspiracy versus the other side. The fact that it's legit. Who knows? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it's suspicious if you ask me. It is suspicious, right? You know, one of the only things I think, you know, Trump has going for him on this here is this idea that had he been a little wiser, then again, this could just be Trump, right? He would have probably put his enemies in a fake list and at least forged it and gave the people a list, right? So he saves face for himself. That's the only reason I think there's the potential for there not to be a conspiracy there. But all the evidence, I think, points to a conspiracy of some sort. Now, who knows exactly why? I mean, you could say, as Bill O'Reilly said, and we just mentioned here, you know, that the evidence could destroy innocent people here. You know, like that's a real concern, right? I'm not gonna lie. And he's saying that, look, they might not have anything to do with Epstein's conduct, and that's true, right? That your name could be in a book, right? And if you know somebody, for example, you take your contact list, right? You have 500 contacts, right? One of them ends up being a mass murderer. It's not like you're associated with the mass murderer. You know, maybe you haven't talked to them in 15 years and you met them at school or something, like, you know, over a decade ago. It's like, you know, so you know what I'm saying? So, like, not necessarily evidence, right? You know, but having said that, I think in this case, right, it depends on how you got it, and there needs to be more transparency about this, right, because it feels like there's absolutely none. So if that was the case, right, then can we at least say so? And can we at least talk about it? Why does everything have to be so secretive and behind closed doors? It doesn't make any sense. And so, you know, I'd like to see the transparency, and I think the government's lying. But what can I say, ladies and gentlemen? It is what it is. You know, we're not the ones in power, and they're going to, you know, the global elite, right? They want to keep you out of the loop, right? They're going to tell you what you have to believe. It's going to be 1984, right? It's like, well, I didn't say there was a list. It's like, what? Yeah, we have you on camera saying in 4K, 60 FPS. What do you mean that there's no? It's mind blowing, right? It's like, but then they'll go with the narrative, right? And they spin that narrative. And people aren't buying it right now, but oftentimes they do. And it's a very unfortunate thing. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, there's some food for thought for you guys. Obviously, always make up your own mind, own decision on things. Do your own research, stay open-minded. And ladies and gentlemen, hit that subscribe button. We got to 250 subscribers. Thank you so, so much for hitting that milestone. Try to get us to 300 now. Helps out the algorithm. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear what you have to say. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.